Many people get arrested on a daily basis for horrible and terrifying crimes. However, if you think only dangerous criminals see the inside of a prison cell, you're wrong. These are some crazy and bizarre arrests that have been made, and a lot of them are just plain stupid. So let's take a look at the top 10 dumbest ways to get arrested. Starting off with this criminal list, and at number 10, we have breaking into jail. I mean, what is going on here? Is this real life right now? I don't think so. Why would anyone want to break themselves into jail? Well, Monique Armstrong was 20 years old at the time, and she wanted to be arrested and have her boyfriend be released for charges of drinking under the influence. So Monique was able to make it past the chain link and razor wire fence that surround the jail yard, and she was later found throwing rocks at a jail window. When officers came onto the scene, she demanded that she be arrested, and that's exactly what they did. A few hours later, her brother posted bond and he was released. Next up at number 9 is twerking. A homeless woman was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct after she was seen twerking in a vulgar manner in front of a school bus of children. Well, if you do it in front of school children and it's just, yeah, you got your bum just popping out, yeah, you might get arrested for this. She was later released from jail after posting a $250 bond. I guess she'll think twice about when and where she twerks from now on. Moving on to number 8 is worshiping too loudly. Pastor Johnny Clark was arrested for unlawful sound amplification and sentenced to 2 weeks in jail. I mean, is this real life right now? His neighbors reportedly complained that the instruments were too loud, disruptive, and the microphones were way too loud. It's not like he was throwing a house party. He was just having a sermon. Possession of Spaghettios makes its way onto this list at number 7. Ashley Huff was riding in the passenger seat of a car when police officers pulled them over for a routine traffic stop. When they searched her bag, they found a dirty spoon with residue on it. So they tested it in the field and it came back positive for methamphetamine. She was charged with possession of a narcotic and she spent 2 weeks behind bars before being released. She was later thrown back into jail for a month and a half because they wanted to run a more thorough lab test on her spoon. Well, it was revealed that she was only guilty of eating Spaghettios. The spoon never had meth on it. So where did that mishaps happen? I hope Ashley gets a nice settlement check for being wrongfully convicted of something that she never did. She got arrested for eating Spaghettios. No. Next up at number 6 is using a banana as a weapon. This list just keeps on getting weirder and weirder and just stupider. Philip Smolinski was arrested and detained after he attacked his girlfriend with a banana. Hopefully it was just a ripe banana, because if you throw those green ones, you could have some serious damage. He was charged with domestic battery and resisting arrest without violence. Those are some pretty serious charges for just throwing a banana. This guy was just monkeying around too much. Pretending to be a ghost comes in at number 5. I couldn't make this stuff up even if I tried. A drunk man from Portsmouth, England was making ghost sounds at a cemetery in front of people who were mourning their loved ones. He kept shouting "woo" while throwing his arms in the air. He was trying to be a ghost. He was arrested at the scene and he later pleaded guilty to the charge, so he was fined $60 and then he was ordered to pay another $70 in the victim surcharge and court costs. He was also handed a 12-month suspended prison sentence. Now at number 4 is staying logged into Facebook. Nicholas Wigg was robbing a house and he must have decided to use a computer. So he went to this house that he was robbing and he went on the computer and logged onto Facebook. And then he fled the scene and he forgot to sign out. He forgot to delete history and delete his cash, his cookies, everything, all that. I guess he just wanted to stay up to date with the newsfeed to see if anyone knows that he's in this house. However, he was quickly tracked down by the police officer. I'm sure it never took them long. They got his name, his information, his personal messages, everything, and now he can face up to 10 years in prison and $20,000 in fines if convicted. Arrested for farting stinks its way into number 3. This must have been a silent but deadly one, if you guys know what I mean. So a US police officer was arrested and charged with assault by causing bodily injury after he farted in a colleague's face. I mean, that must have been the world's worst fart. I mean, what did you have for lunch? These charges carry up to 1 year in jail and a fine of up to $4,000. I mean, lesson learned. Do not fart on your coworker's face. Coming into number 2, keeping a spider as a hostage. A man from Kansas was ordered to serve 4.5 years behind bars after he took his neighbor's pet spider hostage back in 2012. This is a real life story. Brian Smith originally agreed to look after the pet spider, but then he threatened to shoot his friend if he could not keep it. Oh, and he was demanding for his friend to give him $100 on top of of him keeping the spider. And finally, at number 1 is a bomb hoax. This is such a dumb way to get arrested for. Okay, I admit, this one seems like it's a pretty serious crime, but this guy's reasoning for attempting this hoax was pretty dumb. Neil McArdle just couldn't face telling his fiance that he had failed to fill the proper paper forms for his wedding venue. So instead of being honest with his future wife about losing the venue, he decided to stage a bomb hoax at the venue. So his wife got ready for the wedding day, he went to a phone booth, called the venue, and said that this is not a hoax call. There's a bomb and it will go off in 45 minutes. Please quickly trace the call to where he was, and he was arrested the same day and he was sentenced to 1 year in jail. I definitely don't think this guy's gonna get married anytime soon, unless he's getting married to like someone in prison. I don't know what goes on in there. Well, there you guys have it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys all very soon.